Hey, what's up? I'm the Cartoon-theorist YT. Exactly 2 weeks ago, Poppy Playtime's YouTube channel posted this tape on their channel. Today, we're figuring out what it's about, who is it about, and why don't you stop watching. Simple. Let's play. The video opens up with the screen saying, "Tape contains unexpected footage tampered with by a third party." Then below it says, "Destroy tape. The Bigger Bodies Relocation Guide. Do not continue viewing this tape." So, from the jump, they are informing us that this tape has been messed with and needs to be destroyed. The third party interfering with the tapes is trying to free the monsters Poppy Playtime created. More specifically, this time it's Kissy Missy. The screen throughout the tape tells us the steps to transport her to play care. Step 1, retrieve giant front storage feed. It then cuts to the cameraman discovering Kissy Missy. They tie her to a board in order to transport her. The instructions say, in the event of restraint failure, observe Bigger Body's contingency plans. See Playtime Co. policy on Bigger Body's acceptance use of force in emergency scenarios. It's interesting how they mention using force if necessary, and yet they don't supply their workers with any weapons. They only have the grab pack, which could really only be used for self-defense. It's probably because they don't give. They have no issue killing their workers. Anyways, the big step is to load her onto the train. Step 4 is to consult the Bigger Body's handbook for contingency plans. Then the words "loosen the straps binding the giant" are written over it. What you may have missed is these words are being typed in, meaning this tape is currently being interfered with as we're watching it. The thing interfering with it is the prototype. The prototype is clearly the next antagonist for Chapter 3 as they set him up in Project Playtime. In the training game, he commands Huggy to kill the team of resource extraction specialists. We see the train. In it, it shows the code for the train that we used in Chapter 2. The train goes by a tunnel that has "The Hour of Joy is at Hand" written on it. Now, we have seen messages like this before. Back in Chapter 1, we saw messages telling us not to go near Poppy, which we did. This reminds me of when Sammy saw the ink demon as God, his savior. I think whoever wrote this had the same sort of meaning behind it. Who is important that we haven't seen that could have something to do with this and relates to religion, more specifically Christianity? Daisy. I'm not an expert in Christianity, but when I looked up what daisies mean in Christianity, what I mainly saw pop up is innocence. Innocence relates to kids. In Chapter 2 trailer, Daisy was originally supposed to be an antagonist in the chapter, but was removed because they needed her for Chapter 3. You see, fans have speculated Daisy may have been involved with creating the gas we see in Chapter 3 trailer. Due to the gas being red, which relates to Poppy's, that was used by Playtime Co. to turn the kids of Playcare into the monsters we see now. To have a better explanation, watch this video. Anyways, I think Daisy would be used to lure the kids into the gas, because what kid wouldn't follow a humanoid adorable flower? The Hour of Joy is simply when the toys will unite, or rather become one. I propose Daisy will, like Poppy, be our friend at first, but then later betray us. But this doesn't make sense, I hear you saying. Ron is the main antagonist of Chapter 3. I'm about to pull a Matt Pat. The guy who you thought was the bad guy isn't. Since Chapter 2, they've been shoving it down our faces about how Braun is a villain. For example, his cutout talks about how he's the biggest and baddest dinosaur.
What do you call the scariest dinosaur? Me.
And he's been in every chapter so far. His head turned to us in Chapter 1 trailer, and we had to move him in Chapter 2. But why do it this way? It's so obvious, no mystery, and of course, it's the big dinosaur. I believe it's a red herring. It's a distraction from the real villains. Daisy will try to turn us into a monster. Why? Because we used to work at Playtime Co. Molly Longlegs knows us, but she wouldn't remember any old employee. She'd remember somebody in charge. We find these slides in one of the chapters that has all the names of the people who had high positions in Playtime Co. One of the names forms Jamie D. Honey. What toy has to do with honey that we haven't seen? Cat Bee. The prototype is trying to turn us into Cat Bee so he can fuse with us, ultimately becoming the most powerful toy, and would get revenge for what we did to him and everyone. See, Playtime tried to lock up the monsters and bury their project, but something went wrong. Now we have decided to come back to save our ass because we messed up big time. We never see anything indicating Jamie looking for people because that's not what he's here to do. What we do see, however, is him killing all the monsters when he gets the chance, except one, Kissy Missy. In this teaser, Kissy Missy is seen covered in blood with dead workers surrounding her. Who freed her? Jamie did. That part I don't fully understand, but for some reason Jamie would have released Kissy Missy. Maybe he was being manipulated by the prototype. Maybe he grew a fondness for Kissy Missy. The point is he released her. This is why Kissy Missy helped us in Chapter 2. She's not naturally violent, she's still human, maybe more than the others. She is repaying us for our favor. The monsters are being influenced by the prototype, but as we saw from Molly, they still have free will. Also notice while she's on the train, she looks directly into the camera. When she's killed everyone, Missy looks away. She's not just looking into the camera, she's looking at us. She knows we're watching it, burying the evidence with some help from the prototype. That's why it cuts to black. We edited out the truth. Only high authority people would be able to view the tape, and if my theory is right, we're one of them. Well, with that being said, wait just a minute. What does Braun have to do with this? Sometimes the biggest looking threats are not always your enemy, but instead your greatest weapons. But that's a theory for next time. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please remember to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to see everything cartoon related. With that said, stay tuned.